Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Labasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfripi and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, investigation into housing discrimination underway. New rice mill triples capacity. And Savu Savu sees first PRB flats in the north.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
An investigation is underway into a caretaker and a landlord in Suva after an advertisement was put up outside a property seeking tenants of a particular ethnic group. The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission says this is illegal and charges will be laid if the law has been breached. Anna Ravulo reports.
Everyone has the right to housing, and the FCCC says practices that discriminate based on racial lines are constitutionally wrong.
The landlord had said that I want only one particular ethnic group to be given access to my property or to be allowed to rent. It's a violation of the constitutional right of people from any other ethnic group that would want to get the premises for rent.
We must look at the ways in which we can root out these vestiges of discrimination. And housing is one area where it's quite prevalent. I mean, people come out quite overtly to say, this is the preferred ethnic community precisely because, these are the people who are known to pay the rent on time.
The Commission says there are ways landlords can deal with tenants if there are any disputes. However, housing discrimination should not be tolerated.
People have come to me and said, look, the law favors the tenants. It does not. There are provisions that are available for the landlords as well. And we've been undertaking a review of the Landlords and Tenants Act to ensure that we get all the fragmented laws in one place. Now work is being done on that.
The Commission will work with Human Rights and Anti-Discrimination Commission as well as other relevant stakeholders to ensure Fijians are offered goods and services in a fair and just manner. Anna Ravulo, FBC News.
The milling capacity of Fiji rice is set to increase threefold after the opening of a new mill yesterday. Worth over $500,000, the new rice mill will supplement the existing one. Eleanor Rangaivu reports.
Rice farmers in Vonolevu can now sell their entire supply of paddy to Fiji rice and not have to look for alternative markets. A new rice mill has increased Fiji Rice Limited's milling capacity.
FRL will be able to receive your entire supply of paddy as the milling capacity is increased with the new mill from 5 tons of paddy per day to 15 tons per day.
With the new mill, there will now be a significant reduction in downtime, which has fallen dramatically to 5% compared with 65% in 2013.
The mill has a capacity total with the old and the new mill to produce 4,000 tons collectively, and at present we are just producing 25% of that has been milled at Fiji Rice.
The new mill will also improve the quality of milled rice, and this reduces the percentage of broken rice grains.
The opening of the new mill is proof of Fiji's rice continued commitment to serve the rice farmers here in the north and customers all over Fiji. Not only is this proof of Fiji rice commitment, but that of my government towards the farmers.
Today, Fiji Rice is supplying to all supermarkets in Vonolevu, and the company has also secured the supply of rice to Fiji Sugar Corporation's cane farmers in Vonolevu. Eleanor Turangaivu, FBC News.
The opening of the new $3.9 million public rental board flats in Nangere, Savu complement the government's Look North policy targeting new developments in Vonolevu. The projects comprises of 32 one-bedroom homes and 16 two-bedroom homes. Ritika Pratap reports.
48 families now have quality and affordable housing with the opening of this multi-million-dollar project.
To the incoming families, I congratulate you and wish you well on this new beginning. Please consider this to be your launching pad and work towards greater heights of home ownership.
The development has been made possible through a government grant. The tenants will enjoy subsidized rent through the Social Cost Grant.
This initiative has not been an overnight process of success. It has required careful thought, proper planning and strategies. I also note the thought and effort that has gone into the design of this project, ensuring its occupants have privacy, they have security, and most of all, a social uplift while giving it a modern touch at affordable rental rates.
I think it's good for the low-income earners because compared to other houses, the rent is cheap, so it's easy for them to afford.
These flats in Nangere are part of a 3-project program, one of which is being undertaken in Lautoka and another one earmarked for Kalambo in Nasino. The total cost for the 3 housing projects is $10 million. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Australian woman charged in regards to drugs and firearms made her first appearance before the Lautoka High Court today. Yvette Nicol faces counts of unlawful importation of illicit drugs, possession of illicit drugs and failure to declare firearms and ammunition. The prosecution said they will file their information and disclosures within 21 days. Meanwhile, Yvette's lawyer asked the court that a backpack containing his client's personal belongings be returned to her, as it will not be entered into evidence and they will soon make a bail application. The judge said he will rule on the return of her backpack on the 17th and remanded her in custody until the 24th. SODELPA leader Sitiveni Rambuka has maintained his claim that Chinese money is entering the country. While referring to the high-rise building on Suva's McGregor Road, Rambuka claims the development has no benefit for Fiji. Ali Kimbia with the details.
Rambuka claims this building on McGregor Road in Suva is an example of Chinese influence in Fiji.
If it is an investment, it is China money coming in, China money going out. We will have a building. What is the benefit of having a building?
Attorney General Ayaz Said Kayum says Rambuka is contradicting himself with such comments.
He said, we don't need high-rise buildings in Fiji. On one hand, he said, yes, we want development, but we don't want high-rise buildings. So, I mean, again, there's contradictory.
Rambuka also claims every aspect of the building is from China, and Syed Kayum confirms the government has no part in the development.
We have bought all the material from China. Most of the expertise has come from China. The workers have come from China.
If it's a Chinese developer in the McGregor Road property, they are bringing their own money. Absolutely no exposure to the Fijian government or the Fijian people. No sovereign debt exposure.
Syed Kayum says the building is a private equity and the project owes no money to the Fijian government, nor does the government have investment in the structure. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
Still to come, Fiji Airways to buy more planes, and Northerners to benefit from International Standard Complex. Stay with us.
Bula, nevan go malakai leloma, go ngai nakas on the wakarong ng Bula FM, number 2 ay nasere.
Hoya ubasit sai sa Labasa, ya on talita na warong ng Bula FM, number 2 ay nasere.
Guya do tumeli ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, number 2 ay nasere.
Warong tuma ng Bula FM, number 2 ay nasere number 1.
Nevan go fani na tao no go singa toka, kita on talita kana Bula FM, number 2 ay nasere.
Bula FM, number 2 ay nasere.
Fiji Airways is expected to purchase more planes in the near future. This was confirmed by Attorney General and Minister for Civil Aviation Ayaz Said Kayum during the renaming of a leased A330-200 aircraft in Nandi. Felipe Nakaso has more.
National airline carrier Fiji Airways will continue to grow in terms of routes and fleet as the airline focuses on the future.
So in 4 years' time, we'll get brand new aircrafts. And of course, it's discussed publicly before. It can be either the 787 or the Dreamliner or the A350. Now, of course, when they come in, these names will be transferred to those aircraft, so your name will continue to be there.
Said Kayum also stated that Fiji Airways has done tremendously well over the past few years.
And government then partnered with Fiji Airways by providing a budget, a yearly partnership marketing amount of $18 million a year. We are glad to say in this year's budget we have no longer made that allocation because the Singapore route is actually doing quite well.
An A330-200 aircraft was today renamed Island of Vatulele.
We are very happy that this aircraft has been renamed to Vatulele, as our island is not really known for many things, but now the name of our island will be showcased to the world.
Island of Vatulele is one of 6 A330 aircraft operated by Fiji Airways. Philip and Castle, FBC News.
Entrepreneurial Fijians are taking full advantage of the economy's growth and investing back into their bustling customer base. This rings true for Demorda Brothers Limited, who has invested $40 million in the construction of a high-end international standard complex in Labasa. Eleanor Rangaivu reports.
Breaking ground for one of Vonolevo's largest investment that will mark a transformative phase for the small town of Labasa.
With the modern city Labasa, Fijians are able to see clear proof that Vonolevo has entered into a new era of economic development.
A couple of years after initial development plans were announced, preliminary earthworks on the $40 million Labasa city centre started 2 months ago.
We are not only proud to bring you the best in cinema entertainment and shopping, but gratified that a development of this magnitude will create more jobs in Vonolevo.
The promise of a Demorda city in Labasa has brought immediate buzz about the services it would provide: cinemas, shopping, hotel and dining.
This is a godsend for North. I believe that these projects like this will retain people in this country.
It's a very excellent thought, and Labasa as a whole will prosper a lot. We're having this project going on, and a lot of tourists will visit Labasa.
Demorda City Labasa plans to have even more features than its counterpart in Suva, covering over double the amount of land, around 8 acres in total compared to Suva's 3.5-acre grounds. Eleanor Turangaibu, FBC News.
Around 300 people are safe with their loved ones after the passenger shipping vessel Lomaiviti Princess 5 started taking in water after leaving Savusavu for Suva on Sunday. Police received an emergency call from the vessel at around 8 p.m. Spokesperson Ana Naisoro says police liaised with the Navy Operations Centre and the vessel was called back to Savusavu. Naisoro has confirmed there were no casualties. However, some vehicles were damaged. Naisoro says information received says that the door of the lower deck had opened and then started taking in water. Efforts to get comments from Gaunda Shipping Limited, owner of Lomaiviti Princess, has proved futile. Are you one of those who do not like to carry cash wherever you go shopping? Well, there is good news for you, as very soon you will be able to use your debit and credit cards for all types of payments without having to pay any fees for the swipe. Kritika Kumar reports the government has announced the removal of all FPOS fees in the new budget, another positive step towards making Fiji a cashless economy.
This new initiative will make electronic transactions easier and more affordable for Fijians and businesses.
For starters, Madam Speaker, through discussion with all the commercial banks, electronic transactions will no longer carry any fees as of 1 January 2014 at a point-of-sale machine.
The Economy Ministry says the waiver of the FPOS fees will ensure adequate consumer protection.
In the digital era, Madam Speaker, no Fijian should have to think twice about the cost of swiping their credit or debit card. We can now carry less cash, we can make payments more quickly, and we can all benefit from more efficiency and accountability in our shops and businesses.
The initiative has been welcomed by Fijians.
We can use our card anytime, anywhere we want. We will not think about the fees.
There's no fees taken away, and the initiative they have done is very good.
I think this is a really good initiative, and people in the communities will really welcome this.
The government will be paying 50% of the cost to purchase FPOS machines for small businesses so that more shops have access to these tools. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
In Sports Layer with Jamie, Fiji Rugby Union impressed with the women's division of Skipper Cup, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up after the break. Contiki Finance now listed on the South Pacific Stock Exchange. And in growing Fiji, new fire station for Savusavu residents. Stay with us.
Vala, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Seni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Coral Coast, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, Contiki Finance Limited is now the 20th company to be listed on the South Pacific Stock Exchange. The company chair says this is a milestone achievement for the company and it will give Fijians the opportunity to share in their growth and success. Kelly Vadala reports.
Contiki Finance Limited is the first finance company on SPSE and today it listed over $88 million in shares at an initial price of $1.14.
We firmly believe that our shareholders, our clients and our staff, of which there are now over 100 in Suva, Lautoka and Labasa, will all benefit from our success. Honesty, integrity, trust have been the key concepts of our business.
KFL says to date it has over $140 million in assets under management. SPSE Chair Dr. Nurbano Ali says it's a timely listing as they're in the midst of the inaugural Capital Markets Week.
The main board of the exchange will now encompass a total of 20 companies representing 10 sectors of the economy. The total market cap with KFL listing now stands at $2.4 billion. Representing 27% as a percentage to GDP.
Meanwhile, KFL provides accessible and flexible financial solutions targeted mainly at consumers and small to medium enterprises. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
And we now join Sharon from HFC Bank with the latest from the trading world.
A quick look at the markets. The US dollar was soft overnight, with the People's Bank of China declaring that the yuan would be stable. Investors consolidated recent gains and focused less on trade tensions, raising the market's risk appetite and prompting flow into other currencies such as the euro and the Australian dollar. Australia's trade surplus unexpectedly shrank to 827 million versus the 1.2 billion forecast. Their exports climbed to 4% while imports rose to 3% for May. Meanwhile, New Zealand's global dairy trade prices fell at a faster pace this year at a fortnightly auction held earlier today. Their index dropped 5%. And that's all the latest. Vinaka.
Thanks, Sharon. Taking a look at today's currency exchange rate set this morning for the Fijian dollar. Our dollar was on the rise against the US dollar, the PNG Kina, the euro and the Japanese yen. As for the commodities market, oil prices fell slightly to close at $74 a barrel. Gold was up to close at $1,257 an ounce, and silver was up as well to close at $16.09 an ounce. And in Growing Fiji tonight, Sava now has the largest fire station in Fiji. The new facility has iconic and the most modern structures in the Northern Division. Opening the $3.7 million facility today, Prime Minister Veringa Bainimarama says the fire station comes at an opportune time as it will complement the thriving economic opportunities in Sava. Bainimarama says this station is the third newly constructed fire station to open in the north in a span of 1 year. He says there are further plans to develop this site, including a fire academy.
This facility has a conference room, a control room, a fitness gym facility, office space, various storage room, and a first of its kind in Fiji, a fireman's pole that is supposed to enable the firefighters to slide down quickly from their dormitory located at the top floor.
And that's business for tonight. Jamie joins you now with sports.
Thank you, Rachel, and good evening. Up ahead, Fiji Sevens out to end a World Cup drought. And England football side through to quarterfinals. This and more after the break.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Labasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Labasa.
I'm Pritika from Jax Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
It's been more tthan a decade since Fiji lifted the Rugby World Cup Sevens trophy. After winning the tournament in 1997 and 2005, the last two World Cup outings have been rather disappointing for the national team. However, a star-studded side that left our shores yesterday is out to remedy this. Vasil Prasad reports.
Sevens legend Waisele Serevi and his brigade were the last to lift the Melrose Cup in 2005. Unsuccessful attempts in 2009 and 2013 has motivated the players to clinch this year's World Cup title for the third time.
As we were small, we always watch our older brothers lift the Melrose Cup.
Leone Nakarawa and Chasa Veromalu are the only surviving players from the last World Cup, where Fiji lost to defending champions New Zealand 17-0.
That motivates, especially me and Nakarawa, the only survivor for the World Cup.
Coach Gareth Beiba knows the task ahead after missing out on the World Rugby 7 Series title last month.
We've looked at each tournament that we have played through the season, and we've stuck very much to a plan when we've gone into that. We've got it right most of the time.
However, Beiba is confident the players will bounce back from their series title defeat.
But I want to see sort of 2 or 3 different styles of rugby against us and see how we cope.
Meanwhile, families, friends and fans stand out in numbers to farewell our heroes last night. No doubt the atmosphere in Fiji will soon be something like
Gotta be 2!
Brazil playing in the FIFA World Cup. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
There'll be more women's teams competing in the 2019 Skipper Cup competition. 8 teams debuted in this year's tournament, and the Fiji Rugby Union has plans to develop women's rugby even further. John Tambore reports.
Good news for women's rugby, as next year's Skipper Cup will have more tough competition.
Next year, these top provincial teams will require to field a full 15 women's team, and the Vodafone Bono Championship will be required to start the 10th competition. And also we are looking at next year to start an under 20 for the top Skipper Cup women's team.
The expansion of the competition has been welcomed by Suva's women coach Eleanor Kunatsumba.
So that's good news in terms of women's rugby, because one, we get more women to participate in the sport, and secondly, it will generate more interest amongst women, and then we'll have the numbers.
We selected a team, Flying Fijiana 15th team. They went to Australia, played 2 provincial competitions, came back unbeaten, and that just shows that we are on the right path.
The expansion of the women's rugby competition next year is surely a boost for women's rugby in the country. Now this could also see a women's rugby team become more competitive in the international stage. John Sabore, FBC Sports.
England ended their World Cup penalty misery with a 4-3 shootout win against Colombia in Moscow this morning. Eric Dyer scoring the decisive spot kick to send them through to a World Cup quarter-final against Sweden. Sweden qualified for their first World Cup quarter-final since 1994 by defeating Switzerland 1-0 this morning. While Switzerland was the more aggressive side that dominated possession for most of the game, it was Sweden's Emil Forsberg who finally broke through in the 66th minute. With the 8 teams now confirmed for the World Cup quarterfinals, the World Cup quarterfinals are expected to be a thriller. The first match sees Uruguay meeting France at 2 a.m. Saturday, while Brazil takes on Belgium at 6 a.m. England will meet Sweden in the third quarterfinal on Sunday at 2 a.m., while host Russia battles Croatia at 6 a.m. And of course, you can watch all these matches live on FBC TV. For one night only, AMI Stadium in Christchurch will be Wyatt Crockett Stadium. The Crusaders are renaming their home ground in honor of their Props 200th Super Rugby match for the club. Vodafone Fiji football coach Christophe Gamel has again expressed his disappointment with the struggle to put together a solid team for overseas tours. The national football side left yesterday for Malaysia without 10 of its key players. Gamel says of the 10, 7 were injured, while 3 others never returned to camp after the National League in May. The Bulla Boys will face Malaysia in an international friendly match on Thursday in Kuala Lumpur.
I'm angry, I'm upset about that because each time people overrule the national team, and it is the last time that they act like that. Still at the end, I live with a new group. Our consistency is totally broken.
In today's Play of the Day, retired England footballers turned commentators Ian Wright, Lee Dixon and Gary Neville lost the plot following their side's 4-3 World Cup penalty shootout win this morning, celebrating wildly in their ITV studio. Wright, Dixon and Neville came together in an emotional huddle, having all been on the wrong side of shootouts during their England careers. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather. And in the world of the weird and the wonderful, a professional slackliner shares her love for walking on thin ropes between mountains. That's coming up.
Narang golesenya, awama ketega nakas, dorong-rong bin nakape na radio Fijuan nandomo bit.
Ayaw benyana ito barong na radio Fijuan nandomo wisi hinatoka.
Nguelo ilaisa hingatoka, rong-rong bin na heramakawa ina radio Fijuan hingatoka.
Radio Fijuan nandomo viti.
In tonight's new media, the future is here and it's all under the display. We take a look at Vivo's X21. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. It's been a cool and sunny start to the day, though there was quick burst of showers during the early hours of the morning, but that didn't disturb the day's conditions. More so, there's build-up of showers which might get to us soon, but how soon? We'll find out. Taking a look in the west, it's been wonderfully sunny and moderately cool. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, the sun was beaming with conditions getting a bit warmer. And up north, so much cooler with light showers indicated for later tonight. At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots with rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 11:15 p.m. with low tide at 5:15 a.m. Sunrise at 6:39. For tomorrow, there's build-up of rain clouds which will bring us showers and squally thunderstorms. Tomorrow's temps, we are still rolling in the high 20s. And looking further on to Thursday, more light showers can be expected. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji Pulse tonight, we asked, should there be year-round screenings for cancer?
I think people should test cancer because they will know where they stand and how their health is.
Mostly ladies are frightened to go out for checkup, so we need that regularly.
Cancer screening should be provided for the whole year.
Cancer screening is very important for females and it should be provided for the whole year.
Yes, there should be screening done because cancer is a dangerous disease.
There's not much medicine to cure. So yes, I think prevention is better than cure.
In the world of the weird and the not so wonderful, if you're acrophobic, a professional slackliner, Faith Dickey, loves to travel the world's heights on a high line and brave a thin rope between mountains, lakes, canyons and valleys. Recapping the main stories for tonight, investigation into housing discrimination underway. New rice mill triples capacity and Savu sees first PRB flats in the north. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we're asking, are you happy with the new initiatives announced in the national budget? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day sent in by Andrew Sisimaivudi from Kior Island. The picture shows the youths of Kior singing songs from their dugout canoes as they welcome visitors to their beautiful island. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ लुम्बुआ से। जैसे प्रेनी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।